Hi, it's CF Liu here, independent licensed financial advisor. Today I want to teach you how not to lose money investing in stocks. Now specifically, what I want to tell you a story of how my rich clients lose money in stock market without knowing this very thing I'm going to tell you about. Now you know that it's very easy to lose money in the stock market when you don't know what you are doing. But even if you think you know what you're doing, if you are only single-minded, what I mean by that is that if you go to some millionaire investing program or value investing program, you pay like 5 figures of this program cost, and you attend that course for 2, 3, 4, 5 days, and you thought by just attending that course is going to make you rich in a year or 2 years, then you're wrong. And I could also tell you that before you actually attend all these courses that cost like 5 figures, like ridiculous amount of money, yeah, they are conducted in nice hotel and all that. But if you check out some of those very neutral comments, not by me, but you can see that it's not that great anyway, right? And if you blindly buy dividend stocks, just like AirAsia, right? And just because you know about AirAsia, just because you think you can't go wrong, because it has given like very high dividend last year, of course after the price drop, until you realize that some dividend stocks are actually value trap. I have a lesson on this. You can actually look at that lesson, which is popping up in the upper right hand corner after this lesson. And because really truly, not all that glitters is gold, because it could be also your type. So anyway, I wanted to share with you how my rich client lose lots of money in the 2020 market crash because they accidentally invested in the stocks of the companies where the shares has actually plunged 20-30% without even knowing that they are actually invested into the stocks or the shares of this company. So here is what happens. Now, this expose that I'm giving you today, hopefully will give you insights on this one investment that is very popular when you go to a private banking category, and that is called a structured product or structured investment, who are sold by a lot of private bankers, tapping on clients or investor naiveness and also ignorance. Now, why do I know? Well, let's go to some details, right? Like why I can talk about this. Now, I've never invested in this kind of structured products or investment myself, because I know what that is, right? And this is the part where my client actually told me. Now, I'm not the one who actually caused them to lose this money. It's because there's some part of my client that engaged me just for advisory. So they never really, I never really actually manage their investment, right? Because they can and they have the competency, they have the time to do that. But they do engage me in the past for a one-on-one investment advisory because they just want pure advice. They want to invest better, and that's why they engage me for this one-on-one advisory, whereby no sales talk, there's zero sales talk, there's zero sales pitch like what I did in this channel, but they just want to pick my brain on my experience and my thought process. And I say that, hey, what makes you so credible to actually do this? Well, I've been like giving corporate workshops to banks, major banks in Malaysia, and even fund house, as you can see over here. So that makes me credible, and I mean, I'm actually basically training the private bankers, right, like how they can advise their client better. And yes, I do charge a consultation fee for that, for the fee. Now, I mean, if this is something that you're looking for, just check out the description below, leave your contact and all that. But the thing is, this group of my very rich clients who actually lose money, they say that after they lose money, they actually come back to me and they tell me, yeah, Leo, I know that because I lose money because I didn't listen to what you say, okay? I didn't listen to you. That's what they told me. That's why I say, what happened? And then they start to pour their hearts out on, what they did and, why they didn't listen to me. That's why I'm able to actually share with you this insider information, which, I don't usually share because, if I'm going to tell you sometimes out of the blue, probably also cannot relate to that. But this very news piece that is published, the Edge, the Edge recently really demonstrates what happened to a lot of rich and high net worth investor. Now, as you look at this article really absolutely articulate what really happened to a lot of my rich client, in a clear, concise manner. So let's jump right in, right? Now, you know that this article on the first part, it says that a lot of these are very well-heeled investor, part of my client. They are not really interested in getting like 20% kind of return and all that, because they know that investment, if it can swing 20% one way, it could actually swing negative 20% another way. So for them, they have enough, that's sufficient of a capital. They just want to preserve the capital. If they just get like 5, 6, 7% per year, matching EPF return or even Amanah return, they're actually very happy already. But for them, they get attracted when their private bankers actually told them that this structured product called fixed coupon notes, right? And it's very popular across private banking client. So this kind of investment actually promise regular coupons or regular kind of something like dividends payment, because they don't call it dividend, because dividend is for stocks. For this structured investment of products, it's called like coupons payment, right? So they did not say they guarantee this regular coupon payment. They only say that it is the promise. Right? Now, there's one catch. They say that this structured product, the principle that your investor is tied to the swing in the assets like stocks, and the losses could actually mount quickly during deep market declines, like that's what happened in 2020 or even 2008, right? Or generally in an economic crisis or recession, right? Now, if you want to know like how recession happens, why does recession happen, economic crisis happen, check out another video, a lesson I have on the upper right hand corner, right? That will really help you a lot in your investing journey. Now, anyway, coming back to here, they say that this promise coupons payout have since been dwarfed by capital loss. Now, this when actually this is article dated April 2020, right? So what does it mean by there's some leverage holders were forced to out and the stock and some leverage holders was forced out of the illiquid notes? Now what does that mean? Now this structured product seems like a very exotic kind of product, but the underlying, the underlying assets that is inside it basically still the same. It's like stocks and all that. Now this article further tells you that this structured product works well in a rising market or even in a market when the price doesn't move a lot, right? So if that is the case, then you know that this structured investment in private banking can give you as high as like almost like a 12% per year, right? Not guaranteed, but people take it as a guarantee, although it has been historically true when it's presented to you, it has the impression like it's guaranteed because that has been historically true. But if you really look at the black and white of this structured investment product, the term and condition doesn't really guarantee that. The only thing that can guarantee you is cash or fixed deposit, okay? Now, back to here is that but when there's a deep market stock price drop, right, which is the underlying asset of this structured investment, so because it's tied to the performance of the stock market anyway, right? And this when it's dropped so much before a preset level, like I said, it works well in a rising or a market where it does not really fluctuate much. But this kind of structured product cannot tahan one. It cannot stand a sharp market drop within a short period of time, because as an investor, you will be at risk of what we call very steep losses, okay? Because the price plunge very fast, and that is why this structured product always has an option whereby if this kind of thing happen, then this structured product itself are actually prone to what we call like margin call, right? I mean, you know that margin call in stock happens when you borrow money to invest, and then when the stock price drop very fast, basically you're not only losing the percentage of the stock price drop, you're losing your entire capital because your brokerage need to actually sell all your remainder holdings to cover for the loan that you take from your brokerage. So similarly to what is really happened over here, right? It's selling early at a steep discount. Now this structured product normally come with like maturity like 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. But if shit hits the fan between that period before it matures, the price drop a lot below a preset level, that is the time whereby shit hits the fan. This structured product, one of the things inside is also options. Now in this case, it's something like a put options. Now the put options are basically for the buyer of a put option. Your options become very valuable if the if the price of an underlying asset drops below a certain level. But for someone who is actually writing or offering or selling these put options, you'll be screwed, right? So because of this black swan event happened in March 2020, one Singapore-based financial service professional who asked to remain anonymous lost between 30-40% of the US dollar 400,000 he invested in this so-called fixed coupon notes tied to the shares, including Microsoft, Broadcom, and India. So this structured product, again, because they don't understand, it's structured in a way that there's options element into it, there's some warrants maybe, but mostly it's all still on the fundamental component itself is still it's tied to the shares of these public sector company, in this case in US, right? But Microsoft wouldn't go bankrupt, but economic crisis, even bad or good companies, the price you also see the price actually drop a lot within a short period of time, and that is why it affects the profitability of this structured investment, right? And that is how you actually lose a lot of money in this structured investment. And then he said that this structured investment usually before the crash pay about 10% quarterly within a 1 year maturity, like I say. And then he said no choice, but this investor also had to sell the investment because it's leveraged up to 60% prior to the maturity after receiving a margin call, and he decided he did not want to the stress of monitoring this daily prices and worrying about fresh call from his bankers. So for banks, again, banks actually are winning both ends, right? Your bankers, who represent the banks. So the banks are actually, for them, is lucrative business because the investment bank actually make money structuring the notes and then use this exposure, structure the whatever this structured product, and then they're actually passing the risk to their investors. So on all ends, I think banks wouldn't actually lose money. Okay, so investor bear all the risk, but the bank already earn on the front end or whatnot, right? Including like packaging these kind of products into a sellable products. Just like they are having this mortgage-backed security, they are actually earn in the US, right? They package this mortgage-backed security back in the 2008 and then they resell it, so they earn on both ends. So banks are really the best money-making sector of business in the world, like without really doing anything sometimes tangible, right? So just repackage that and then you can earn good money from there. So banks making a strong push as they deliver good revenues, but the lesson from this story is this. I like this saying a lot. They say it is like if you are as an investor, you got into this structured investment and you don't know what you got into, you don't know what's the underlying asset. When things go bust and then you wonder what happened, right? You cry foul because you thought you bought an umbrella, but then when it rains, you found it was a walking stick. So if you have bought like structured investment before, and if the market really dropped drastically, and you lose money, which means that it's no different by losing money investing directly into a stock, right? So you have to understand there's nothing really exotic about this structured investment. Just because you're in a private banking or premier banking, whatever you or privileged banking, whatever you want to call it, and these structured products are actually meant for high net worth investor, and just because you are eligible for that because you have high net worth, really there's really nothing so special about it. Because understanding what is the underlying asset and how it reacts to this adverse scenario, like economic crash and all that, is still very important, because the underlying asset, when it's a regulated investment, you cannot run away from normal capital market instrument like stocks or bonds. And banks or investment houses repackage it and they slap on a different label into it. Just like as a layman, you buy a Panasonic kind of ceiling fan or wall fan. Basically, they are actually made by a company like KDK, right? And they just take that and they slap a logo, a different label into it. Now it becomes very dangerous when you look at this structured investment or product, you invest into it and you have an impression it's very safe, but actually it is like a frenemy. Now, what is a frenemy? Frenemy is a combination of word between a friend and an enemy. Now, just imagine you have a colleague who really envy you, who can't wait to actually stab you in the back, right? But then in the front, he acts like a friend. And in that case, I would rather deal with a crocodile or a tiger because it's better. At least I know a crocodile, tiger, they are consistent. They don't pretend like they want to be friend like me and they want to stab me or eat me, because I could actually take the precaution, right? I mean, if something is a crocodile, I know that 100% at all times it's going to eat me, so I could run or I could take precaution, right? You won't let your guard down when you're facing a tiger or crocodile. You know what's going to happen, rather than facing a frenemy, and that is very dangerous, right? It stab you when you let your guard down. So this news piece is a kisah benar, again, missed by the age, and that is how you actually lose a lot of money in the stock market without even knowing it. Now, if you think this is good, then actually I recommend that wait until you actually check the description below, and you might ask me, then what are the asset class that you think will be the best among, even though in bad times, like you wouldn't lose that much money, you will have a chance to actually recover it quite good, rather than this structured product. I do not think you can recover. If you have losses, you basically you are done. You cannot recover much money. You cannot say wait for 5 years, because basically 5 years is a period where it's way beyond the maturity of the product, right? So I really recommend you check out the description box below, where I teach you what I think is the best or safest or more consistent asset class to invest into. You can still get about not too high, 6-7%, but that's good enough if that is matching like EPF return. So I hope this is good for you, good sharing, and this is really no holds bar expose for bankers, for a lot of banks, and you have to know, right? Any private banker, no matter how good they are, if they're in the banking system, they could be good, but they're not independent, right? So it's hard to be independent when you're in the system itself, no matter how good you are. And even if but in private banking, it feels like very atas, but a lot of people are just with all due respect to all bankers who's watching this, you're basically a very glorified salesperson, right? Who are selling financial instrument now. So, and a lot of times these bankers are being told to sell what the banks want them to sell instead of what they think is the best for customers. So that's why I know, because, and I know I got friends who are bankers, they are good people, but unfortunately because they are playing in that system, so therefore, unless you escape from that system, you cannot be really client-centric, compared to an independent advisor like myself. Which is why, in the past I get offers to be working for, I get headhunters actually sending me offers, right? Like, obviously they probably know what I'm doing. They say that, hey, I think you're okay, let me headhunt you. Our clients are actually certain banks, and they want to actually, headhunt you. But I say that, I say, no freaking way, because I really I cannot be as from someone who are client-centric and become go into a system whereby the interest of a client is no longer a big issue, but it's all about meeting sales target. I don't like to be in that environment, which I will vehemently actually reject when headhunter actually headhunt me to be to join the banks or banking sector. This is why I started this channel. So this is what CFU channel is about. It's about doing expose like this, because I just don't only talk about theories and general concept, because I also talk about a lot about this expose and all these are kisah benar. I don't talk about generic stuff like make money safely, or save money and all that. These are the things you can Google. But I talk about also like how the important thing is, it's not about only making money in the stock market or any investment, because there is only half of the equation. The other equation you have to understand is how not to lose money in the stock market or property market, because by not losing money, you indirectly gain that kind of profit by not losing a lot of money. And in this CFU channel, you actually learn a lot as I share from other people's mistakes, instead of learning that yourself, paying tuition fees, right, to learn on your own. So you will actually miss out if you don't click on the like button now and hit on the subscribe button and hit on the notification bell, so you get notified when I publish lesson like this. Like this, these are some of the subscribers that actually give me good comments in this channel, which means that you should subscribe. And then of course there are people who actually hate me because this exposure actually affect their rice bowl, their trolls, which is why if you really find this useful, I also need your good support as well. And because I'm doing this exposure, I'm really not getting sponsorship on property developer like Jimmy Boy or channel like Aki from Japan, way bigger channel, because they don't like what I'm saying over here. Now even I don't get offers for sponsorship from banks, investment house, because of what I'm actually doing in this channel. And furthermore, you notice that at this point in time I don't have any ads enabled in this channel, so please show your support by leaving a comment below and say, CF, I actually love what you're putting out. Now, really, it doesn't require a single cent from you, and you're not losing anything from doing so. Just show your love. There's nothing to lose on your end. I mean, it's all for your benefit. You become more in control of your money. You learn from other people's mistakes, so you don't have to pay tuition fees to make the mistake on your own. And in case you think that, hey, CFU, we're so simple-minded, you always talk about the same thing, boring investment. Now, here's the fact that I want to share with you is that my friend I used to actually trade options as well, like all those complex, complicated instruments before I actually hit 30. So, and I've experienced the one end of the spectrum where I used to lose like 50% of my real own money, and then I also experienced I'm making hundreds over percent, multiple hundreds over percent, like within a week or month. But then again, I say that what's the thing? Why? But then I tau back already. I've been there, done that, and then I realized that there are certain asset class that you can invest in, and end up you could actually get the same end result, because it doesn't really matter if you lose 100 over percent in one day and then you make that 100 over percent in another day. So net off, you could be not making any money anyway. And I believe it's in this, right? After you've gone through a lot of things, you will realize that simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. So there you go. There is a story of how my rich clients lose a lot of money in the stock market. By the way, if you really want to look at a lesson that I did previously on how I actually made 200% just investing into one single stock, then check out what's popping up in the upper right hand corner as well.